Good morning, everyone. It's an honor as the inaugural executive director to present our summit and talk a little bit about translation and the importance of partnerships to take all these incredible research findings from Rice Engineering and Houston Methodist Research Institute and translate them into real-world outcomes that can improve patient outcomes at the patient bedside. And thank you, Dr. Ashu Sabharwal, Dr. Khurram Nasser, for being incredible mentors and experts in your field. Thank you, Dr. Jenny Chang, and thank you, Amy Dittmar, for your leadership in helping us build this institute and bring it out into the world. I am incredibly passionate about digital health. I've been working in hospitals for the last decade in Boston and Baltimore with clinical researchers, with technology partners from industry and pharma to take this pipeline to create new digital apps, new wearable devices, and bring them to the market and bring them to patients. So the translation and commercialization of AI and digital health in healthcare into products and solutions at the patient's bedside is a complex, multi-stage process that bridges the gap between scientific discovery and real-world clinical use to improve care. It primarily involves the development, rigorous validation, regulatory approval, and systematic integration of AI and digital health models into clinical workflows. That process can be broken down into several steps. The first is what Ashu and Khurram were describing, which is at the bench, the research and development. This involves discovery and model creation, where researchers are developing AI algorithms trained on massive multimodal data sets. This includes medical images, electronic health records, genomics, and sensor data to perform specific tasks and recommend personalized treatments. This also includes building proof of concept models. These are initial studies that demonstrates the algorithm's performance, accuracy, sensitivity, and specificity. The AI must show that it can perform the task as well or better than human experts. Then you go into the validation, which is bridging the gap. This includes prospective validation. So now the AI models and digital health devices are being tested using new real-world data in prospective studies to ensure that its performance holds up in the real world. And when we get into the healthcare setting outside of models, it can be chaotic and messy because there's so many different types of data inputs. The data is changing, patients' needs and providers' standards and guidelines, and the way that they're adapting with AI and digital health is constantly evolving. So it's really important that real-world clinical data is used in this stage. This also includes clinical trials, which are the gold standard for clinical evidence, to show and prove that our research innovations are leading to improved patient outcomes, fewer complications, and lower costs. Finally, we have to take into account interoperability and integration. The AI solution or digital health intervention must seamlessly integrate with existing hospital technology and information systems. Then we go into the regulatory and commercialization stage. AI products and digital health products must receive approval from regulatory bodies like the FDA in the US as a medical device. This involves demonstrating safety, effectiveness, and quality manufacturing. It also includes usability and adoption strategy development. This often starts with pilot projects in small settings to build trust and gather feedback, which is essential for successful, widespread adoption. We also have to look at reimbursement and business models because healthcare systems need to be able to pay for these new digital health solutions. This involves securing reimbursement codes from payers that recognize the value of new technology. So you can already see that there's diverse stakeholders and experts that need to be involved, and our Digital Health Institute is perfectly set up with Rice and Houston Methodist to open the door for industry partners, venture capitalists, as well as regulatory experts to accelerate the process of commercialization. So what are some areas where we're seeing some early positive results and impact from AI and digital health? We have precision diagnostics, where AI is analyzing medical imaging and lab results for earlier, more accurate diagnosis of cancer. It can identify microscopic tumors months or even a year ahead of humans to help with improved early detection. We're seeing it in predictive analytics with AI that's analyzing your real-time data as a patient, looking at your vitals, labs, and history so that clinicians can proactively intervene. We're seeing it in the development of personalized medicine, where we're incorporating a patient's unique genetic profile to recommend a treatment plan that really works for you based on your unique history. Finally, we're seeing a lot of traction with automation, AI, in workflow efficiency, where we're able to use natural language processing today for clinical documentation that is saving hours and hours of time for doctors and nurses so that they can focus on patients, on the human interaction that matters the most for healthcare. So the way that we are approaching partnerships to help us accelerate the commercialization process is through these main areas. The first is sponsored research agreements with industry to provide access to data and expertise, mitigating risk and testing new hypotheses together, and the potential for IP rights through sponsored research agreements. The second is co-development, where we can go deeper together to actually design and develop new digital health products. This could be an AI platform for medication safety, for example, or it could be a wearable device for diabetic patients that provides continuous glucose measurement and provides data back to the clinical team. This offers us the opportunity for shared risk and reward and a faster path to market. Finally, we work closely with our tech transfer offices at Methodist and Rice to license new technologies to industry, and we're creating spin-outs. Ashu mentioned Cognita, and we also have Sanopic. You'll hear from them later this afternoon. There's multiple spin-outs from Rice and Methodist. MAPS is one focused on medication adherence and safety from Houston Methodist. So we're really excited about the new startup activity coming out of both organizations. Khurram mentioned this earlier. We offer one of the most robust data infrastructure platforms in the United States through Houston Methodist. And so we're able to offer data on 6 million patients, 79 million healthcare encounters, over 20 years of multimodal inputs. And this is secure, rich, actionable data supported by our NVIDIA DGX supercomputing. And so our infrastructure and our investments allow Houston to have a unique position for commercialization. Finally, I want to touch on Rice University and the incredible innovation infrastructure that has been developed over the last couple of years to support startups and innovators through the full spectrum and journey of innovation. So the places, programs, network, and capital show you how the startups' needs are being addressed through the ION that provides spaces for startups, programs like our Digital Health Institute, as well as RBL and others that are bridging that gap between research and commercialization. We have a network of venture capital investors and experts from industry and seed funding and capital to support these startups as well. Just today, we have Y Combinator, which is the leading startup accelerator program that has created startups like Airbnb and Square for payments at Rice University, meeting with Rice student startups. And so that gives Houston a really unique position.